Welcome, I'm Rob. You join me at TeamSport Sheffield for the second session of this Wednesday evening visit. This is a public session with only 8 drivers. I was second fastest in the first session, with only TeamSport Sheffield's head mechanic being faster. Time to try and set that straight. The first session was quite good for flags, with mostly clear running. I'm hoping this will be a similar story. This car feels a little bit quicker than the last one and seems to be quite well aligned so far. It took a while, but I made it past that slow driver. When they're all over the place like that, finding a way through is quite tricky. Now watch this driver in front. He's another one with some strange lines. I'll look for a clear spot to try and pass him. I really didn't expect such a speed difference through there though, and I couldn't quite slow my kart in time, and I gave a small tap on his corner as he's pulling off again. And after that brief red flag, I've reacted a lot quicker to the yellow flags and I'm back behind him again. So we're back to greens, let's find our way through now. I need to be careful at the hairpins as I know he's quite slow through there. I got the run out of the corner, but I'm on the outside. It's nicely defended, he's kept himself up the inside. And I think I've avoided contact with him there. The sound you may have heard was the inside barrier. I've had to lift coming up the ramp as he's come back from the left across to the right side of the track. Again, I'm pretty sure there was no contact there. He slid the car on the exit of the corner, which loses all his momentum, and I'm now alongside. I've conceded the place though, as he was far enough up my inside. So this time I expected the slide and I positioned myself for the pass. But now he's turned in early and tried to force me into the inside barrier. I've held my line and left room on the exit, but you may hear that he hits the barrier on the outside himself. Now at the very last second, I saw him coming and just tensed up. I want to say, I'm not proud of my immediate reaction in the heat of the moment, but I knew that he had driven at me on purpose. And his reaction there proves my point exactly. He drove at me on purpose. To admit that I am quite pally with Ryan, the marshal, who happens to be in the pits at this point. But I have checked this footage a couple of times and I don't believe I'd have reacted any differently or said anything different if it was any other marshal. Bear in mind that this is all in the heat of the moment, but I'm going to let this play out first.
Brian! The fuck?
You're right,
He targeted straight at me.
What?
He went straight at me. There was no braking at all.
Yeah.
He's off.
What number
He's off.
I didn't see what
I don't know,
number it was.
2 I think, but I don't know.
I'll say it. Just
You're right.
It's just like guys up rubbing it. You good, yeah?
He went straight at me. He tried to go around the outside round there, didn't like it, so he took me out. You good?
So where I said he's off, I think what I meant at the time was that he needed to be kicked out. Yes, that may seem a little bit extreme, but if this was any professional level of motorsport, he would be. I've left this footage untouched on my laptop, just sat there for 3 weeks, because I wanted this commentary to be fair and unbiased. I've written this script, and where I would normally record almost immediately afterwards, I've actually let it sit for 24 hours, I've come back and I've rechecked it again. I'll leave the clips in at the end of this video showing what happened after the session was over, but don't skip ahead just yet. The driver of Kart 10 claimed that I made a lot of contact with him, and that was the reason for his conduct. Yes, there was contact, I'm not going to deny that. There was some amazing driving too. He defended really well around that top back section. Did I make a lot of contact though? I still don't think so, even now when I'm completely calm and haven't forgotten all about it. There was one, maybe two bits of very small contact. His driving was unpredictable and I didn't know where to place myself, and that is the sole reason for any contact I'd made. I definitely didn't try to barge my way past or purposely push his car out of my way. Yes, I refused to be pushed into the barrier, but I had left space on the outside. Do let me know in the comments down below, how do you feel about this incident? Should I have done anything differently? Would you have been the same? Let me know, I'd love to hear it. As I didn't want to pass that other driver while he was still mulling it over, I let a couple of the slower karts through, so I need to pass those again now. Now this guy was good all evening, he was very observant, very fair, and he's waved me back through, so he gets a nice quick thumbs up. The kart doesn't feel quite as happy on the right rear corner now. It's got a very slight pull to the right, but I thought it would have been okay. I'm not going to waste time swapping, as it's important I learn to drive whatever kart I have. Plus, it must be quite a discussion that's going on. He's still in the pits. So I haven't really calmed down all that much at this point, which goes some way to explaining my poor lines. It seems he's been released from the pits not too far ahead of me. Hopefully, I don't catch back up again during this session. My driving seems to have slightly improved now, but you can hear the kart skipping around a little. It's not normally where the grip would be, but I'll have to make do with what I've got. I've clearly tried to count something coming up the ramp, but I cannot tell you what it was, sorry. So it turns out he is the next kart up the road. I'm not going to slow down yet, as there is quite a big gap, but I don't want to be attempting to pass. If I do get onto the back of him, I will just do a couple of slow laps and create a new gap again. So the gap does appear to be closing, and at quite a fair pace, but I don't think I'll catch up. Unfortunately, I do think I'll end up directly behind him in the pits at the end though. We're on to the final time lap now, and I've just gone for my quickest lap of the session. I'm still just over a second of my personal best at a 59.3. Now, I could have sat behind this one for the remainder of the session, but that's no fun, is it? Having now seen the marshal walking down the track though, I've realised we're at the end of the session. Now, remember, I am leaving some extra footage right at the end of this video. There's feedback from Ryan and the ultimate conclusion, so don't skip away just yet. As always though, thank you so much for joining me on my go-karting adventures. Please do give this video a quick thumbs up and leave any feedback down below in the comment. Remember, I'm now announcing on Instagram stories when I've booked a session, so keep an eye on there if you'd like to try and join me one day. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel, and if you haven't, but you continue to see more, please do give that little button a click. These numbers are growing rapidly and I want to see them keep rising for me, please. So, we're now in the pits, and here is what Ryan had to say.
Hi mate. So, he said that you ended up bumping him a little bit, and he's not happy with you and stuff. So I just want to sort it out and just get. I just want apologies for both of you and stuff. Yeah,
I'll apologise. If he thinks I made contact with him, fine.
Yeah.
All I know is I passed him around the outside, coming into here, and then he's turning in on me, trying to put me into the barrier, so I've just held my place. And next thing I know, he's coming out.
Okay, yeah, because it was back there, I didn't see it and stuff.
Yeah.
But he came in, he's like, do you have CCTV? Because I want to see that CCTV and stuff. So basically, all I'm asking for is an apology from both of you.
You've got one for me, mate. You know you have.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
I'm generally an easygoing guy, and I was more than happy to try and help de-escalate the situation, and I apologised for any contact I made. So until next time, cheers!